And we do want to continue our team coverage with Cristian Benavides, who is live for us in West Palm Beach as well. Cristian, can you tell us what is expected to happen next with the suspect and also the investigation at this point?
Chelsea, at this point, he is expected to be booked at some point. We are actually hearing that the charges will come down at the federal level. So the Palm Beach State Attorney's Office saying that they may take a step back. They're going to let the federal charges come down on this. So right now, investigators are just putting together their case, whatever it's going to be against this individual, against Mr. Ruth. Now, we understand that there is plenty of evidence from what we learned at that press conference. We learned that they were able to recover an AK-47 style rifle. In addition to that, they also recovered 2 backpacks, a GoPro camera that was there. All of this, of course, happening earlier today around 1:30 after that Secret Service agent spotted what appeared to be a muzzle of an AK-47. Once that Secret Service agent spotted that, he engaged with the gunman. The suspect then apparently running out into the road. That's when that eyewitness was able to jot down that license plate number of the vehicle that he jumped into. Officials saying that that was key in being able to capture him so quickly.
Any indication about how the former president is actually reacting tonight after yet another apparent assassination attempt on his life?
Right. Well, on social media, he has made it clear that he is safe. He is okay. In a fundraising email, he told his supporters that he feels stronger than ever. The former president and his allies, obviously concerned over what happened here. Clearly, the political rhetoric that has been going on coming to a head today. And at this point, what happens next is the investigation gets underway. The former president is believed to be at his Mar-a-Lago estate tonight, which is just about 15 minutes from where we're located.
All right, and we'll be all on top of this as it continues to evolve. Cristian, thank you so much for your analysis of today's events. Well, Trump's opponent in the race for the White House, Vice President Kamala Harris, did release a statement, as you heard Anna say, shortly after the news broke. She says, "I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I am glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America." President Biden also releasing his own statement, reading in part, quote, "There is no place for political violence or for any violence ever in our country, and I've directed my team to continue to ensure that Secret Service has every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure the former president's continued safety." And Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, releasing a statement as well, and that read, "I am glad President Trump is safe. I spoke to him before the news was public, and he was amazingly in good spirits. Still much we don't know, but I'll be hugging my kids extra tight tonight and saying a prayer of gratitude." Now, it was only 2 months ago in July when a gunman shot Trump in another attempted assassination attempt. That happened at one of his rallies in Butler, Pennsylvania. That is what you're looking at. The bullet did hit him in the top of the ear. In less than 10 minutes, we're going to be taking a closer look at the suspected gunman, and we're going to talk to a former FBI agent about challenges in protecting the former president.